The real M.
Yeah. So welcome everybody to our weekly well-being Wednesday. Today, December 17th, and we are still on with me as host. Welcome. I'm Carrie, in lieu of Amy Michelle, who is still on her sabbatical. So we still have plenty going on with health, physical, and mental health as our main topics. Uh, and we want to just really get into the moment right now. So, you ready? You ready, Joy? Let's start with a big breath. Right in the belly. Let it all out. Can you take a deep breath, Joy? Happy, happy, joy, joy. Yes, you can. All right. See, we're all participating. And we're going to do that just a quick nervous system regulation, little bit of grounding, because we know how much mindset matters. All right, ready? If you want, enjoy. You want to do this too? All right, both hands up. Okay, put one hand on each shoulder. Give yourself a hug. And we are here right now in the right place. And then just stroke down from shoulders to elbow. Yeah, like that. Everybody can do it. Want to. Just stroke down, little hug. And it's like hugging our inner child. See, we all need a little joy inside. Isn't that right? She's in there somewhere. And we're going to do the double deep breath. Put one hand on the chest, the other hand on your belly, your diaphragm, and deep breath into the belly. And long exhale. Just kind of melts all the way down your spine. And now we'll do the double. So breathe into the belly, in again to the chest, and along. Let it all out. Let it all out. Even lean forward, squeeze it all out. Ah, nice little sigh. And if you came rushed or you were stressed and you still feel it, just shake it out a little. Just shake it out a little. And this is so good for us a few times throughout the day. Just even rubbing your hands together can be soothing and reassuring. And this is really fun to do with like your favorite relaxing song. You can get up and sway to it, but because most songs are like 2, 3, 4 minutes. So it's a great reset, and you get to choose the song to set the mood. And they say this is so good for us too, right before eating, because this we just manual override, put ourselves into parasympathetic rest and digest mode. So try to do this today before you eat. Before you eat, take 1 minute. And if you're saying a prayer, bonus round, because you're going to really settle into it too. And it just helps your nervous system receive the nutrition. And nutrition is information, just like feelings and hormones are information for our body and how we feel. So I wanted to ask Sharon before she has to go. I know she has to leave a little early today, and or Elaine, if you'd like to participate. If you were on any of the win calls, what were some of your wins of the week or struggles, learning moments toward your health, physical and or mental, emotional? Because remember, emotions are energy in motion. Emotions. Let it flow. Oh, got your mic open there, Sharon. Go ahead if you got to share for us.
Yeah, I have a couple things from the Monday night. I mean, I had a lot, but um,
Yeah.
um, one gentleman talked so much about mindset, and one of the things was um, we talk like on the win calls, talk a lot about becoming, and he just mentioned about I'm going to become the healthiest person I know versus I'm on a diet.
love it.
the difference in the mindset makes such a
Hmm.
difference. Um, and what would a healthy person be doing? What would a healthy person have in their pantry? What would a healthy person have in the refrigerator? Just some of those questions. And I'm not on a program, per se, or a diet. Just the verbiage makes such a difference in mindset. And um, what are you creating? You know, one of the things from the one of the win calls this week was a coach question, but this pertains to everybody. But the question was, wouldn't it be cool if, and fill in the blank with whatever you want to fill in the blank with. But there was some really, one of the really, I was listening. I didn't even have time to think about what if. Some other people just popped up right away, but the one that really stuck in my mind was, what if the doctor would prescribe this program instead of a medication? And I was just like, wouldn't that be cool if the doctor prescribed this program instead of a medication? And what if your family was all healthy? What would you all be doing if your family and friends were all healthy, didn't have you know, metabolic health dysfunction? Just fill in the blank however you would like, but just take a couple minutes to maybe write that down and just think about that. The other thing, one gal on Monday night talked about um, some tips she uses with her grandkids and talk so much about modeling. So basically setting an example. But she said they're a year old, when they're a year old, we give them a water bottle and they see grandma always with a water bottle. She always has a water bottle. Um, and not not food shaming, like she didn't give too much examples, but I'm assuming that means, you shouldn't eat this, you shouldn't eat that. That's not good for you. But she had one example was I think one of the grandkids offered her something, and she said, "Well, Grandma hasn't had her rainbow yet,"
Hmm.
and which meant she hadn't gotten, um, some of her veggies or fruits in, and so just um, just some things that stuck with me, I guess. How we oh, and the other thing was, um, she said something about um, um, well, grandma's gonna get up because I haven't been up in a while because the sitting disease. We've become so sedentary, and our grandkids also. I have to vouch that our grandkids also. So, getting up and making the comment. Grandma's gonna get up and go out for a walk, or something that grandma's gonna go up and get a drink. Just some things that you're modeling. You're not saying good or bad but you're modeling.
I love my favorite memories, made me feel better, and it was just a happy time. Excellent. I love those because they're really all mindset first, then the action. Yeah. And they're all teaching moments. I love how you said by modeling, just the
Mhm.
kids, the grandkids, friends around you, family will start
Yep,
mirroring. Yep.
everybody.
Yep. I love it. That's awesome. Great tips. And so real focus on, I think the Monday was on micro environments. So
Hmm.
yeah, our first environment is inside our head, our own thoughts, what we're putting in. And then our household around us, our family, micro environments. Hey, Jill, welcome, welcome. And yeah, I see that a lot with Amy Kroll and her little one. The just setting the good example. Why doesn't Granny have a bottle too? Because baby's got a bottle. So why not? But have it be water or whatever. So yeah, good reminder. Up the hydration, even in the winter, because winter is drier, just because it's not hotter, but it's drier. And and what was the more focus on the metabolic health and on the wind calls? Did you say you got a wind call this week, Sharon, still?
Well, the one that I caught, I think Monday, was the one that the question that the coach
Okay.
question that I guess stuck in my mind the most. Wouldn't it be cool if? And
Yeah. Okay.
fill in the blank. Wouldn't it be cool if? And
Yeah,
there
you
was
said Monday, so I was thinking Monday night, but
yeah, no, there was just such good examples, of people just spoke up right away. Well, if
yeah.
if my family was all healthy, or if like I said, if the doctor prescribed this program instead of a medication, I'm just like that was kind of like blew my mind. Yeah, just think of what.
Yes, that was an awesome win call.
Yeah,
Awesome pointers. Yeah, and what would the healthiest version of me feel like?
or I
Reasonable,
guess
healthy as possible.
another example is, wouldn't it be cool if people feel in control of their future?
Ooh, that would be cool. But it all
Feel,
starts with
yeah.
the idea. And that's how we begin to create our reality around it. So those are the thoughts, the questions, those are great prompts to cue up new beliefs that we have about
Mhm.
ourselves and family and environment around us. So that was great. Thank you for sharing that. And Elaine, I see you have the microphone open. Did you want to share too?
No, thank you.
Okay. No, that's fine. I just thought if you're in queue, we don't want to miss out. Okay. And that really ties in well with what we were going to have live interview today. But these win calls, the Monday night program, if you didn't get an email from Amy Michelle on Monday, I can forward it to you because they're free. The win calls, you just call in and it's a 15-minute call. And they have all these pointers to get yourself in the right mindset, right frame of mind, return back to, oh yes, my good habits. I don't want to miss out on them. And just have that support. And there's an AM and a PM call. And then there's an evening program Mondays for a half an hour. Oh, I was gonna ask you, Sharon, did you happen to, because we talked about this last week, did you happen to catch the Tuesday call last night with who is the doctor? She's always on. Oh, I can't remember her name. Sharon. Yeah, Sharon Fleischer. Is that one of your regular times too,
Dr.
Sharon? Are you able to
Sharon,
get on?
Dr.
Yeah.
Sharon. Yes, I was on last night. There was only two of us. Elaine and I were the only ones on. But
Whoa, bonus
it
from
was
our
really
group.
able to
Woohoo.
be it was really a one on one, really.
And you got to talk to her and ask questions again?
So, yep, Elaine because she was on the week before, so she got to follow up with some things. So tweaking some little things and what she's working on.
Yeah, I call that a
Oh,
huge win because, hey, everybody, don't miss out on asking the doctor straight
and
up question.
next week she won't be on because of the
Yeah,
holidays.
and
And
good,
then
good reminder. I was gonna say
the following week she was gonna see. So, but not next week for
to
sure.
be announced then.
Yes, to be announced.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you. If you could keep tabs on that and we'll put it in the messenger chat group
yep.
I
for
know
a
about that
reminder.
thing on Tuesday.
Do you get the emails on Monday, the Monday morning emails for the events of the week
It's a
from
good
Amy
question. Let
Michelle?
me look.
Okay. If not, I'll be sure you get the email and I can forward it to you
Okay, thanks.
and get on. Yeah, because there's so many free programs within, our learning health environment. And did
Yeah,
you
isn't
have,
that awesome?
yeah, and did you have a win of the week you wanted to share, Amy, or a good learning moment for all of us?
Let's see.
I don't want to put you on the
Um,
spot, but if you wanted to share.
well, oh yes, yes. Well, I already shared it in the chat, I guess, but we went to the midwife last night, and I was really happy that everything was looking good. All the numbers, everything she tested was good, and my iron had been low. Last time she took it was in September as well, but it was just a
Oh,
little bit low then, and so I was more intentional in a few different things. Taking some things, eating more red meat, stuff like that. And so it was really good this time. It was even better than it was with Joy. So the ideal range is between 12 and 14, and so it was 13.4. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Joy was
good.
so I was really happy about that. Just
Yeah,
knowing that you're healthy and the baby's healthy and everything's going well is a huge reassurance. For sure.
absolutely. Yeah, staying on your healthy habits path. And
Yeah.
you're healthy for two now. No, really three. No, really four.
Yeah, it's
So,
it's amazing how when you're part of a family, especially when you're a mother too, it's like everything you do matters now, not just for you, but for especially your children, especially when you're carrying them or feeding them. But
yeah, literally,
even
literally.
yeah, but even when they're Joy's age, I still prepare all of her food and feed her, so that's and then she sees my example, so it's hugely important. And of course, David affects his food as well, so it's like it's even more important to have good healthy habits, not just for yourself, but everybody that you affect.
Yeah, absolutely. And your mindset affects your hormones, which affects the baby's, form hormones and
That's
learns the patterns
true.
as well. So, not consciously, but it's
That's
all
true
part of
too,
the
yeah. It isn't
microenvironment.
just yeah, it isn't just what you eat that affects them, it's also how you handle your emotions and your perspective and all kinds
Yep.
of even your sleep and everything. That's a good point.
Yeah. So, yeah, so even more reason to keep your micro environment as healthy as possible, So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. And I saw Joy playing games with you, and I hope she enjoys too, learning the little breathing techniques and all the things that we have to learn now should have been natural. It's the best when they're little kids, you
Yeah.
know, because then
Yeah,
it's just part of them, what they do.
I hope she learns healthy habits. So this is just it's not a win, but it's a I guess it's a little prayer request or something.
Mhm.
Um, I'm kind of trying to decide how to set boundaries with people that like to feed my children sugar.
Mhm.
Specifically David's mom, who is the
Yeah,
only grandparent in Joy's life right now. And I really appreciate her and when she watches Joy sometimes or if we go over there, whatever. I really want Joy to have and enjoy having a grandmother in her life, and I don't want to do anything to alienate her,
right.
David's mom. But it is frustrating that even though she knows I don't want Joy to have sugar, she, she kind of makes a big deal out of it. Well, if the adults are having sugar, then the kids should not have to miss out. And and then whenever we're with her, Joy likes to sit on her lap, and then she wants to eat whatever grandma's eating. And so if grandma's having dessert, then she just lets her eat whatever she wants of it. I'm like, how do I deal with that? I want to set a boundary and this is not okay. I don't want Joy to and it's not like part of me and David is not the most helpful because he's like, well, it's not all the time, not like we have it's not like we see her all the time. It's not like she has sugar all the time, and that's true. So part of me feels like, well, it's just once in a while. Just don't worry about it. But then, I mean, do I really want Joy to learn that habit growing up? Oh, whenever I see
Yeah.
grandma, whenever she has sugar, I have sugar too. And I
Yeah.
have as much as
So
I want. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, the wording of it is good. But what was the one you had, Sharon, from your wind call? It was not on a program, not on a diet. We're learning to eat healthy, or I am a healthy eater, and so is my family. I want what's best for my family. Whatever you decide is best for your family, that's what you want. And
Right,
so there was one
but
that
she,
Sharon had, the way it was worded was just so
Um,
simple.
I'm becoming the healthiest person I know. Is that the one?
Yeah. And then in that I'm becoming, or my family is going to be the healthiest family I know. And we are
right,
becoming this.
but
And
with,
and learning, and even the way, like Amy Michelle always says, sugar isn't a season. It's sugar season. Yeah. It's not a season.
yeah,
Flu is not a season. Sugar is not a season. It's a mindset, like you said. So, and we're not dogs. We don't just behave off of treats. And why is sugar a positive reward when we now know it has such negative results? I have a good friend, her little boy is 3. He's tasted pop, soda, colas, but he's never like had one. And she's like, yeah, and I want to start down that path. And in our interview last week, she was saying that it was my sister, and mom used to put Coke in her baby bottles. Probably me that did
ugh,
it first. But that became her soothing thing. But sugar, yeah, exactly. I see your reaction. That's how you want to convey it to your mom or your mother-in-law, either way. And it's just not what you want because you've learned. So you're wanting to avoid getting into that pattern. It's easier to avoid it than to have to change it later.
I know, and part of me feels like I will need to say something to her about it, but I also know that she feels like, well, if you deprive children of all sugar when they're growing up, then they'll crave it like they'll want it like crazy when they grow up, and they'll eat a whole bunch of it because they didn't get it when they grew up when they
Yeah.
wanted it. And
Amy,
I
how old
mean, I
is
think
Amy? How old is
he's
Joy?
two, almost two, a few months away from
Two.
two.
And then this is your mother-in-law?
Yeah, David's mom.
Mainly.
This is Jill
And
talking. So
yeah,
one of the things you might try is making peace with her over, this is a topic that we can agree to disagree on. And because I respect your experience, what you believe is, right for you. I hope that you can respect, that this is what we have decided is right for us. You want to be careful, like as far as, and I'm assuming David is your husband, is that right?
yeah.
Okay. So it's tough. It would be tough for him to take on his mother. It would, because he already knows the rules and the guidelines and the limits around her. But it would be really important to find other things that you're grateful for that she does,
Yeah,
and kind of deflect that, because if it becomes about the two of you squabbling about food, in front of Joy, Joy is going to sense that this topic is more than it should be. And I empathize with what you're facing. That's a tough thing to do, but just to demonstrate to your daughter that we show grandma respect. And I have a granddaughter who her mother restricts the amount of sugar that they have, and I've heard her say frequently she can have 2 sweets. She calls it 2 sweeties a day. And Ava is now 5, and she is better at monitoring sugar than any adult I've ever seen. She's just like, I can have 2 a day. She eats kale like it's candy. She loves vegetables. But her mom actually puts almost an inordinate amount of attention on food. Like like when she has her with us, which we have her a fair amount, we're given a few restrictions. And so regularly I will say to her, we will honor your rules. We will, and I think if you make it about honoring, giving her due respect for her opinions, letting her know that you're researching this. You don't even have to say I appreciate your feedback, because you probably don't. You don't want to lie about something, but it
right.
would be totally it would be totally appropriate to say I give you respect. You did a good job raising, my husband and and this is the decision that we've made as a family because it's gone from being, um, your health consciousness to she's making it a battle. And you just need to disengage yourself from the battle and give her the due respect she believes she deserves. Because if you take her on with the facts of, what sugar is and what sugar isn't, I have a family, one of my family members or one of the kids in my family, they believe that their children can choose whatever they want to eat at any time. And one morning I
Oh boy,
watched one of their children eat like five
good luck with
lollipops
that.
before breakfast. And
Oh,
and the parents were like, this is okay, and he can have whatever he wants. And so
that's
when I'm
neglect.
there, yeah, yeah, and they're very food conscious. They believe that restricting food is wrong, period. And so they don't restrict food at all. And so, we got the whole spectrum in our family. We have a number of children, and everybody has different rules and guidelines. And you know, I listen to what they've researched, and I mean, you need to give her the respect as your mother-in-law, but you need to get out of it engaging with her because she's not hearing what you're saying. She will not hear what you're saying. And, just to give her the due respect as, I very much respect you on, that you believe this is dangerous, but it's not so dangerous that she's going to, that her life is in peril. In fact, I don't agree with that. And so this isn't a matter of not loving her. And we ask that you love her with touch and talk, not with food. And I think that's the biggest one is that, we choose not to share our love with rewarding by food. And, that if she is most welcome to spend time, with your daughter and, but it doesn't have to always involve food. So,
So
I
many
mean,
good points. And I just wanted to say, if anyone else in the peanut gallery wants to put a chat in the, comments in the chat or thoughts that you're having along the way, if you don't want to share on camera, that's fine. But this is a super good discussion. And I love, Jill, that you brought up respect and honor because that's what boundaries are. It's respect and honoring yourself. It's protecting yourself, your family, without imposing or hurting the other person. They don't even necessarily have to know I'm making a boundary here. Um, and I love how you said, Jill, make it not about the food. It's just about the relationship. And unfortunately, in my family growing up, food was love. My grandma literally had a, cross stitch on the wall thing and with of a pig that said eat till it ouches you, and it's like grandma would always come by, poke, poke, hey, you have room for more in there. And it was like,
Oh
and
boy.
then hug you. And it's like, oh, don't squeeze it out now. But food was love. But respect and not respect, we were talking about mindset, is how you view the other person. I respect you, please respect me. How you view them. And honor is more of a verb. It's the action, what you do to show how much you respect them. And yeah, even respecting space. I love that. Being love with touch and words. And you even called what did you say? The kids can have two sweeties a day and didn't call it a treat. It's not a reward. That is not the prize we're going for. I mean, it is a food category, unlike, most sugary treats, quotes, come in the form of junk food. And it's like, well, it's either junk or it's food. Which one is it? But that's also a mindset thing, what we view as food and what we view as taking care of ourselves and what we view as love. And it's so beautiful how you worded it, how you expressed that, Jill. What did you think, Amy? What did you pull out of there that was really helpful and useful?
Yeah, I appreciate what you shared, Jill, and I definitely do want to, I want her to feel respected and honored, and I want Joy to have that attitude. And sometimes I go so much in that direction that most of the time, I have not said anything to her. Um, it's very few times. There was one time recently when, David and her had some, peanut butter pie, um, and I wasn't going to give Joy any. And then she was she was complaining, well, it's not fair for the adults and not, to have it, not the kids. Um, I did mention something about how I had just read recently that there is actually research on why children under the age of 2 really should not have any sugar at all. And then if you want to introduce it after that, but so I meant, and it's like documented research. You can read it, but she just said, "Oh, that's hogwash." I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't really say much of that. It's like you can't just dismiss something as hogwash when you haven't even read it and you have not done any research on it yourself, and you're just really just voicing your feelings that you want it to be hogwash
Yeah.
because you want to stick sugar in her face. I didn't say that. But
But that's what's going
I'm,
on in the head. But it's proof of why
yeah,
you can't have understanding, reach an agreement, understanding with someone who doesn't want to be reasonable. But they still want to know that they care. They want you to know that they care. They love you. They love your kids. And you want to make them feel good because often people don't remember what you say, but they remember how you make them feel or how they felt in your presence.
mhm.
So it is about a lot more about tone than the actual words. I'm like you, Amy. I'm like, I did the research, I found out this, it's so interesting. And it's like, yeah, whatever. It just all went out the window and in one ear out the other. And but you can say, I know for me, I know, and I know for my family what is best.
And the thing is, I'm going to have to say something to her unless, and if I don't say anything, then the same thing will continue to happen. Whenever she sees Joy and whenever she eats something, Joy's going to eat it too, and she's going to let her eat it. So I feel like I have to speak up and say something. I'm just trying to think about what and how and when, and also address the fact that it isn't just for me, it isn't just the food or the way I want to train Joy, although that's really important. And also, I feel really disrespected myself because I feel like she knows what I want for Joy and she's completely ignoring it. And I just feel, like I said, totally disrespected. And like,
Yeah.
does that matter what I want for my child? I mean, I am her mother, you know.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
does matter.
like really just do the opposite of what I want. So somehow I would want her to understand that it's not only do I want Joy to be healthy, but I also appreciate
Yeah.
parent being respected.
So that's great.
And
In our
I also
other group with
want
some of
respect in
these
my life.
other friends, with Amy Michelle's group on Mondays, we we were talking about boundaries and and finding the simple phrases, and I should have a whole list of them written down, but finding simple phrases of how to word it. Just thank you, and we love you too. Maybe it's not about the item, the food, but just acknowledge that that's her way of showing love, and we love you too. But that might be a really good project. And then if anybody puts any in the comments, that would be great. Or even comments after, because we're gonna, these are recorded and saved. But what are simple phrases that we can use? And maybe this fits in with a lot of the holiday time things, because I was gonna ask you, Amy, and then we'll get into the thing on the cravings. But you said you had a little challenge with your husband. Or was it
Oh
between
yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas? The was it a weight gain or what you ate? What was the specific parameters, and is that still going on for you?
Yeah, it is still going on.
Okay.
I really appreciate that he wanted to do that. It was, well, his idea was it was just to be for Thanksgiving and the day after. But then I asked him, hey, can we extend it through the whole holiday season? Because there's lots of different temptations all throughout. So we decided we're going to weigh ourselves on January 4th because that's
Okay.
the first Sunday of January.
Thursday, yeah,
Yeah.
after the
So
holidays.
yeah, so
So you've
after all
got
the
New
holiday
Year's in
stuff is
there
over.
too.
Yeah, so it's basically from beginning to the end of the holiday season, from Thanksgiving to January 4th. And then we're going to factor in my pregnancy because, if you're gaining like about a pound a
You
week.
should have weight gain.
Yeah, but we're just going to subtract 5 pounds
So
because
which trimester are you in? How far along are you?
just started the third trimester recently.
Okay.
March 3rd. So
See, and then, that's a little healthy health challenge and for
yeah.
fun and for motivation and with accountability. So that's good. And last week, the interview we did have, she was on live last week, and I thought she was going to come on live this week. But you all got the email as well. Did you get the email on the cravings, Amy or Jill? You
Let
have
me
to
look.
put your email in the chat for me if you can. I'm gonna be sure because I thought Amy had you on the email list, but I'll send it
Okay,
out
I
today.
got some.
Anyway, but you were on live last
Okay.
week, Jill, so you met Kate and she talked about the cravings, conquering the cravings program. So from cravings to clarity and calm. And I don't know if you got the replay, Amy, but I'll be sure to give it to you because that does have the live interview in it. So tomorrow is the event, and there's an Eventbrite link in the email, which I will send to you, and I can actually put it in the chat too. But the difference between cravings and emotional eating and the the event is going to be on cravings. So during the event, it's like usually a little more than an hour to she will walk through and be the guide for you to conquer whatever your craving is, and not just sugar, not just craving protein, but a very specific thing. A true craving is usually like, I need that brand, that flavor, and I need it now. And Kate uses EFT, emotional freedom techniques, to free the emotion that is trapped and attached to that item. But it's almost always attached to a person, a memory. So also it includes a little bit of memory consolidation as you bring up the memory with the food, but process it through with the tapping. And so it's a super simple technique. And I don't know. I mean, she said one session, one craving, gone. And in the interview, she gave several examples. And Sharon, that was just on, shared a little bit of her story of she did the craving seminar previously with Kate, and a few in the group had. So the recording is available with their testimonials and the explanation, and the sign up ends midnight tonight to sign up for the Cravings to Clarity workshop. So if that
How much?
sounds interesting to you, or if you have any questions, I will be able to be right here to help you with that.
How much does it cost to do that cravings thing?
That is a really good question, and I don't remember, but let me go in. And she's got a like super discount. I think it's like half off for anyone coming here today. Thank you, Jill. And here's the link for now. And so using the promo code, the coupon code, HHH30, you'll get, I think it's like 30% off, or is it half? I don't remember. That was her department. But once you click the link, you'll go in and you'll see. It's just the what do you call it? Registration ends at midnight. So the event is tomorrow. I think pretty much everybody here is in Central, so 1 p.m. So it's after lunch, but a craving doesn't have to do with full or hungry or satiated. It has to do with an emotional connection on an emotional need that needs to be released and processed. It's super interesting. I've done this with her too. I'll just share briefly the one that Sharon shared last week. It was Planters peanuts. Every time they went into Menards, she just had to buy them and then she had to eat them. And this was over a year ago. She did the process with Kate, and it's like she's like, I haven't purchased one yet since then, and just haven't felt the need. But it's like, that when it's a craving. Oh, Kathy shared hers on ice cream. She's like, and her thing was like, it was certain, I think it was even vanilla, because she's like, yeah, I just like plain vanilla ice cream. And now she has the choice. I can have ice cream when I choose to, but it's not like I feel like I have to attack it and eat the whole quarts and the whole Ben and Jerry's or whichever one it was. but it's releasing the emotional need. And I did one with her. I think it was the last time, and it was this specific chicken croissant sandwich at this specific French bakery restaurant. And I sat there, I was at the restaurant during the thing because you have to have the food there with you because you look at it, you smell it, you take a bite as you're processing through the emotion. And I realized it was my mom. I miss my mom. We used to have those together. She used to make one that was the closest that tasted like mom's. And last Friday was 20 years since she passed. So it was really, for me, it was a grieving process. And I still have the memory and I still treasure, so many things. And I still like the chicken croissant. It wasn't like, oh, I'll never eat that thing again. And maybe your grieving is something you don't ever want to touch again. But mine is now, it's a choice. You now get to choose to have that food instead of, I need to have that, whatever it is for you. So the tapping process, the emotional clearing one session, one craving, one and done, and it's gone. So it's totally worth it. Everybody who's been in there, totally worth it. One that commented in the email, her testimonial, Candace, hers was like frappuccinos at Starbucks. She's like, I gotta get rid of this craving, but it's because it's killing the bank. They're expensive. It's like if you're having one a week or one a day, she's like, that's a lot of money. It's not in my budget, so I'll have to kill the craving. And she did. So that is the process, and everybody is welcome to click there. Feel free to write me or ask now if you have any questions. And Roxy, welcome. I did see you when you came in, but I know you're usually working on Wednesdays, aren't you, Roxy? Chat when you can, but I know if you're driving or whatever, stay focused. So did anyone have, because I know you weren't there last week, Amy or Valerie or Sharon, if you want to ask a question in the microphone, in the chat, or with me later, let me know.
Did you say at the beginning that you were going to play a recording of Kate, or was I
No, I
mistaken?
have a recording available, but I didn't know on time to get it ready to play right now, and I'm very sorry about that because I double booked. That's my bad.
No worries.
Thanks, Roxy. So I'm very sorry about that, Valerie. I know I said it was going to be live, and I do have a recording. I'll be sure to send you the recording, and you got the first email. And there's one recording in there, but I'll send you the recording that we did last week of interviewing Kate.
Okay, thanks.
And that way you still have time to watch it and think about it and click forward and share with a friend or whatever before midnight tonight. And I don't know who all is already signed up, but I would love, so I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. You know what I have? I have Lindt chocolates under the bed, stashed. That's going to be my craving. That's going to get cured. I'm like my mama. I learned by mirroring my mom. That's hard to say. Whoa. Stashing chocolates. But that is such an emotional thing about
By the way,
stuffing those. Go ahead.
I did get the email. I got Michelle's email. It didn't have any. I looked through. It didn't have anything about the cravings thing, but I remember she did put that in the messenger chat.
Yeah,
It
so
just
you
wasn't
got
an
the one
email.
on Monday about just the regular Monday program, the
Actually, it
microenvironment.
was today.
Oh, okay. So the Wednesday,
It was
Wellness Wednesday.
today.
Yeah. All right. Well, I
Yeah.
will. Can you
I don't know if I got
give
anything.
me your email, Amy, and I'll be sure to send you the cravings letter,
Sure.
the whole email, because I just got Jill's. So thank you very much,
Okay.
and I will send that off to you as well.
Yeah.
All
Also,
right.
I forgot I wanted to share something that I liked from the WIN call this morning. Well, it's
Oh,
two things.
good.
One, people who are flexible do the best. And then the second one is mismanaged emotions such as worry, anxiety, and I don't remember the third one. Fear, maybe. Are as significant a factor for health, risk factor for health, as smoking a pack of cigarettes every day. That really struck me. It was like, because I mean, I don't have any problem with smoking cigarettes or eating junk food most of the time, but mismanaging my emotions is another story.
That is so interesting. Yeah, I've heard
A
the
much bigger
sitting is the new
issue for
smoking,
me.
but yeah, I read that. I don't know if it's the exact same thing that they shared on the
That's
win call, but I read that recently. Having whatever stress, level of stress, is like multiple packs a day, equivalent to the damage it does in your body. It's like, wow, that's big eye opener.
wow.
And that was on the call today, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, that was very sobering this morning. Yeah,
Wow. I'm so glad you
very
shared that.
sobering.
Yeah, because Sharon shared from Monday. So, oop, now we just lost Jill, but I think she was at work. So, thank you for sharing that. And thank you, everyone. And we will all be in touch and hopefully see you tomorrow. And I will see you guys all here again next week, next Wednesday. And if anybody has another question, comment, or share, and other than that, we don't want to run over time like we usually do.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Appreciate you all.
Yes, thank you.
Mm.
Thanks, Valerie.
Yes.
And thank you,
God bless.
Roxy. And everyone.
Have
I'm
a
giving
great
extra
week.
time for us.
Thanks. God bless. Have a wonderful week.
You
You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye bye.